My creepy 30-year-old manager offered me a ride home at 1 a.m. when I was 16. A random cop saved my life that night. I was 16 and had a job at a local fast food place. One night, I was closing with my manager, who was a guy in his 30s. I had always thought he was a bit weird, but I ignored it. After we closed, it was around 1 a.m. and he offered to drive me home. I lived about 15 minutes away by car, but I usually walked. I didn't want to be rude, so I accepted. We got in his car and he started driving. After a few minutes, I realized he was going the wrong way. I told him, but he just laughed and said he wanted to show me something. I was immediately creeped out. He drove us to a secluded area in the woods. I was terrified. He stopped the car and turned to me, smiling. He said he had always thought I was pretty and wanted to spend some time with me. I was frozen with fear. I told him I wasn't interested and just wanted to go home. He got angry and told me to get out of the car. I refused and he started yelling at me. I was shaking and started crying. Then, out of nowhere, another car pulled up behind us. It was a police officer. The officer got out and asked what was going on. My manager immediately changed his tone and said we were just talking. The officer didn't buy it and asked me if I was okay. I shook my head and the officer told my manager to get out of the car. He did, and the officer handcuffed him. I was still shaking and the officer took me to his car. He asked me what happened and I told him everything. He called my parents and they came to pick me up. I later found out that my manager had a history of doing this to young girls. He was arrested and I never saw him again.